Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 6. And, yeah, Genya is a demon. That's kind of where we left off. We got the yellow eyes, the teeth, the veins bulging, his hair's turned yellow. That explains why he hasn't been eating, why he's been able to regenerate his teeth, things along those lines. So Tanjiro successfully cut off the heads of 3 of them, where Genya took out one of them. So this leads us to believe that this demon is fully defeated. He gets Nezuko out of there, but he smells a scent. And this is where I was like, oh great, there's another one. And yes, there is another one. So Genya starts choking out Tanjiro, saying, you didn't defeat the upper rank 6 by yourself. That's why you didn't become a Hashira. And I believe the requirements to become a Hashira is defeating any of the upper ranks or lower ranks. Basically, you have to defeat one of the moons, whether it's a lower rank or an upper rank. That's what qualifies you to become a Hashira. So that's why Tanjiro wasn't able to become a Hashira, because he didn't technically defeat the upper rank 6 by himself. He had the help of Tengen and Zenitsu and Inosuke. And he was like, yep, that's fine. And he was like, I'm going to become a Hashira, is what Genya is saying. And Tanjiro was like, yeah, cool. And he gives him this just like calming presence. And clearly there's no real ill intent. Otherwise, Tanjiro would have probably cut off Genya's head at this point, or Nezuko would be fighting him. So he's not, he's holding him by the neck. I wouldn't say that he's actually choking him. Meanwhile, while they're arguing, the other demons regenerate, and Tanjiro, there was a cutesy little scene there with Nezuko, like, he was basically saying, don't let Nezuko get too hurt, protect her, don't cut Nezuko, but, he is telling Genya where the 5th demon is. So the 5th demon is the main body, and this is why Tanjiro is thinking, okay, this makes sense, why we can't defeat these things, why cutting off all 4 heads at the same time is doing nothing, because there's a 5th one that is the main body. So the 4 that are attacking them, while extremely powerful, none of them are actually the main body. So Tanjiro is leading them to it, basically saying, go to it. We get a very short clip of what's happening with the Mist Hashira. Really nothing in this episode kind of relates to that fight. So he's just kind of in this water base, trying to figure out how to get out of it, with the upper rank 5 kind of just taunting him, essentially. Is what he's doing, and it really, there's really not a whole lot going on. Tanjiro seems to be becoming even more powerful. And they were basically saying, that his sword burns a lot. It's taking them a lot longer to regenerate when Tanjiro is using the Himogami Kagura. His new technique there. He doesn't seem to be using any water breathing techniques at all at this point, which makes sense. He's stepping into his new breathing form. And it's definitely slowing them down. It's harder for them to regenerate. And then we finally see the 5th upper rank, and he is like itsy bitsy tiny. Like, this guy isn't more than a foot tall. He looks like he's in an original form here. He's very fast. It's very hard to track him because he's just so tiny, hiding away. So Genya goes flying after him, and his sword ends up snapping on his neck, and he's like, how is that even possible? This thing is pint-sized. This thing is tiny. This should be easy. But being an upper rank, you got to use kind of one of your most powerful techniques in order to do it. And he shoots him. He uses the sword, and then we get a lot of Genya's backstory, and we learn that his mother was very small as well, just for some comparison, but his dad was kind of a piece of crap. He beat up on him and the kids. The mom would go on top of the kids to defend them. He had actually quite a few brothers and sisters. His dad ended up getting stabbed by somebody that held a grudge against him. And then it was basically just his mom and his siblings, and he had the Hashira over here, his older brother. He's the second oldest, and then he has 3 other brothers and a sister as well. And they're all wondering where their mom is, because at this point, she should be back. Um, so the oldest brother goes to look for mom, and they're just like, yup, everything's okay. They're waiting for their mom, and they think she's finally coming, and they all rush to the door to try and see her, and instantly, all of his siblings get killed. The only reason that Genya doesn't get killed when the glass breaks is because he's holding his younger brother, and probably his youngest brother, in his arms, and the glass ends up hitting him as opposed to himself. We then, see Genya running out to see his other brother, and then his mom. It looks like his older brother has killed his mother, but she's disappearing. So, we learned that we don't know who made her into a demon, but that's initially who attacked him. And this whole sequence is flashing before his eyes because he's like, crap, this other demon's going for my neck. I'm not going to be able to regenerate. I'm going to die. And this is where we get the backstory. And basically, he's sorry to his brother because, he has no idea what was going through his brother's head. His brother literally had to kill his own mother and bring her into the light, and, wait for the sun to fully disintegrate her, being that she got turned into a demon. We don't know who turned her into a demon, but then they end up becoming, obviously demon slayers in the future. Him becoming a Hashira, and then him becoming one of the lower ranks. I think same rank as Tanjiro. But basically, the thing was, they both agreed that they were going to be the men of the house and protect the siblings, and it didn't happen that way. So all of the siblings died except the 2 of them. Both of the parents are dead. So where else to go? And he's basically saying he has no talent. He doesn't know any breathing techniques, which is kind of surprising that he got as far as he did without knowing any of the breathing techniques. But he does have that cool gun, that cool kind of demon slayer gun, if you will, which is pretty neat. That's able to blow the heads off of demons. But Tanjiro's like, don't give up. He comes in to save the day. Genya steps in. We know Genya can regenerate, so he is covered in holes right now. But he's like, Tanjiro, like, I can't. Like, I don't have the ability to cut this upper rank's head off. You are going to have to do it. This is what needs to be done. And then we kind of end right before Tanjiro is cutting the head off. Love Hashira, didn't see her at all this episode, so not sure if she's still running to the fight. Maybe she'll go help the Mist Hashira who's trapped in the water. But it looks like Upper Rank 4 is going to be defeated 6 episodes in. So we'll see what happens. But, I feel like it's probably going to... The fight in reality is probably going to be prolonged, being we have 5 episodes left still of this season. This is going to be a very short arc. I think the last season wasn't very long either. Wasn't the last season technically? We only got like 7 episodes, if I remember correctly, because like the first 5 or 6 were just like the movie reiterated again, and then some original content as well. But really have no idea what's going to happen. We go to the end here where they have that cute little sequence where they were talking about how Genya had nothing to eat because he doesn't need to eat because he's a demon. He eats people's flesh. To be continued. Let's see if it gives us the name of the episode. And this is where Tanjiro's like, yeah, we're friends. We were in Final Selection together. We were in the hot bath together. So Genya's getting very annoyed because he's mad at Tanjiro because Tanjiro broke his arm, essentially. But at the same time, I think he realizes that he deserved it. I'm just going to see here. Awful Villain is the next episode, is what we're going to be calling. But rating-wise, this I don't really have any complaints. We had some nice backstory. We had some nice fighting sequences. Got some character development with Genya. I guess Genya is just a good demon like Nezuko is, but he's a little bit more functional than her, where he can talk. So not a big deal there. But he is gonna. Hopefully, Upper Rank 4 gets defeated next episode. I kind of doubt it though, because just based on the Awful Villain is what it's called. So I'm kind of doubting that the upper rank is actually going to get defeated. But we'll see. Love Hashira's got to come in there. She's got to do something. Mitsuri, I believe her name is. I know I just keep calling them by their Hashira names, but she's got to be. I'm assuming she's going to play an important role in this. So as I said, we're going to have to wait and see. 5 episodes left, and I'm very annoyed I have to wait another week to watch this episode. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button on the way out, and as always, have a good one.